classroom.
Okay.
And we're going to show you here how the teacher is using the new Cisco Cius collaboration business tablet. And we have one right here. And of course, this is not just our next generation IP phone. It does have the full voice capabilities, but it's got a forward and a reverse camera. It has Bluetooth, 3G, 4G. It is Wi-Fi capable. It has the ability to use your Bluetooth headphone that you would use with your mobile device. And of course, it's a tablet, so it's removable, and you can take it with you so that your phone and your desktop comes with you.
But what's exciting, Jim, is it also ties to the business collaboration, business security, the telepresence, etc.
All of that built in from the ground up as its core feature set. It also has the desktop virtualization client built in so that you can run a virtual desktop back in the data center or back in the cloud on this device.
So when you all standardize, many of you in your environments, on Cisco IP telephony in terms of your desktop, you weren't buying voice, you were buying data, you were buying video, you were buying a business tablet that combines all the collaborative suite and the architecture before.
That's right.
So it's pretty exciting. I like the format.
I'll show you an example today of a classroom management application. So this application is coming out of the cloud. Of course, this device can run Android apps. In this case, we're looking at a cloud-based application that's a classroom manager. We can take attendance, we have contacts, we have a grading application. Here's a textbook application. Let me click on that and show you how we can actually customize a textbook by choosing a chapter, and this of course comes from the cloud again. So what I'm going to do is choose archaeology, and I want to add this chapter on technology and exploration. So I'm going to
So you begin to think about how rapidly this has changed. A teacher perhaps from my generation 30 or 40 years ago could come into a classroom today and on most topics do an amazing job. And yet in any other role, medicine, in terms of business, in terms of IT, it's changed so rapidly. And what you're about to see is an inflection point occur in education, enabled by video, enabled by social networking, enabled by technology being much easier to use.
That's right. We've just added that chapter into our lesson plan.
Okay.
So any new content can be incorporated. The best-in-class lesson plans can be shared between teachers. And as we'll show you in just a moment, when we look at the student's tablet, that new chapter has been inserted into there. Now, as this is a collaboration device, we also have the ability to run other applications that allow us to collaborate. For example, let's take a look at the attendance application here.
So what you really begin to do is not just innovation, but operational excellence that allows you to combine the two.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
I got
right.
it.
So now we can take attendance using this application simply by touching on a student to show them here or not. But we also have the ability to bring up the student's records.
Okay.
So, for example, if I click here on Grace and I click to see her profile here, this will bring up her profile of her information. It shows her academic scores over the past year. We noticed they dipped a little bit, but they've come back recently. Maybe we want to have a parent-teacher conference with Grace and her parents. Well, we can do that simply by clicking on her parents' names here. I'll click on the WebEx icon to connect us, and now we'll have a WebEx meeting between the teacher and the parents. And you notice the video icon is active because we interoperate with WebEx video on this device, and now we can have our conference. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Jones.
Hello.
Hi.
And hello, Grace. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello.
Now, Grace, your grades dropped a little bit earlier in the year, and I believe you've been working to bring them up, and it looks like we've had some good results. How's that going?
Well, that's good news to us, because we were worried that Grace was taking on too many extra activities.
Yeah, I don't think she was focusing enough. The football team was just taking up too much of her time.
Yeah, sure. I think she needed to make some choices there on some of those, limiting some of those activities.
Yes, I guess I had to choose between football and swimming. I chose football, but I'll miss my mates on the swimming team.
Okay, well, that's a good plan. Now, Grace, I know that you've been working on the science project for the fair this weekend. How's that going along?
Well, Ina and I have been testing materials for their insulation properties, materials that are used for space exploration, and we've been doing this using the heat from a hairdryer. We have some results already. I'll share them with you.
Okay, so you're going to share those? Yes, I see. So what is it that we're looking at on the slide here?
Well, this is the chart of our results, and as you can see, the green bar is our control fabric.
Yes. Okay, well, will you be ready to present this weekend?
Yes?
Grace was also mentioning that she'd made a poster, Mr. Grubb. Will we be able to see that?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I can share that with you. Now, of course, John, because this is a collaboration device with built-in cameras, in addition to using the cameras for WebEx, I can use the rear-facing camera to take a picture of the poster here. So what I'm going to do here is just go ahead and click and bring up the camera application, and we'll click to take the image, and now I have the image of the poster. And are you, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you're seeing that okay?
Yes. Yes.
That's brilliant,
Okay.
Grace.
Well,
Mr. Grubb, thank you so much for that, and thanks for helping Grace to improve her grades. I'm thrilled. Well done, Grace.
sure. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks for participating today. We
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
it.
Goodbye.
Okay. Bye-bye now. Now, John, this is what we just showed you is the WebEx video interoperating with this device. If you'd step over here in front of the Tandberg telepresence unit, I'm going to make a call from the Cius to the Tandberg unit, and we'll just show you fairly quickly the fact that we can interoperate with the high-quality video on this device and the Tandberg and telepresence units at Cisco. And there we go. You're seeing now this interoperability. Now,
So you're seeing any device to any content, but you're also seeing the capability for telepresence, Tandberg, Cius, video across the entire network to really be different than we've done before. Again, that's why it has to be an architectural play. Not easy to do.
Now, we're going to show you a little more here in just a moment, but what I'd like to do is we'll end that call, and I'll step over here into the classroom where we have another Cius device for the student. And here, the student has the ability to use the Cius for a number of different student-based applications. I'm going to click here on textbooks, and this will bring up the textbook application. And you'll see in the science chapters here, a new chapter has been added, and if I click on that, it brings up the new lesson on the technology and exploration. If I go ahead and click on that, it brings up the text. But not only do we get text, we get rich multimedia embedded. So if I click on this video, you can see we're getting video on demand that's allowing us to get video right in that text. So very engaging for the students. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pause this. And I want to show you something very special here, because you'll notice that there's a flag here saying live event going on here. So we have the ability now to take live video from anywhere in the world using the telepresence technology and bring it into students' textbooks. So in this case, as you heard about, tomorrow we're going to have Dr. Robert Ballard. Well, Dr. Ballard, who discovered the Titanic, he has a center in Rhode Island. They call it the Deep Space Center, where they bring back video from their research vessels around the world, and then they take that video and send it into the classroom.
So video really is the killer application here, isn't it? It allows us to learn more collaborative, faster speed, but without being too subtle. In each of our jobs, regardless of the industry you are in, what you basically look at is how can our teachers be dramatically more productive, and how do we train our young people or retraining current generations to be more collaborative in a very rapid way on a current basis.
And how do we inspire them also?
And how do we not make it boring?
That's right. That's right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and click here on this live event.
Yeah.
And as you see, we're getting a video feed from the Deep Space Center. Now, this is video that's coming back from an underwater vehicle that they're actually operating, and then bringing the video back to the experts, as you said earlier, but also bringing it into the classroom.
Or put different, what you're really doing is you're bringing the work to where the experts are anywhere in the world virtually. That's like an assembly line of the future, but not only do you bring the product to the people who are performing the work on it, you bring the product to the people who are performing the work, and the work can be virtual, every single product.
That's right. Now, John, let's take this one step further. What I'd like to do now is show how the classroom could connect back to the Deep Space Center. And so we're going to do that from over here. But before we do that, if we could invite Dr. Ballard, who's here with us today. Welcome, Dr. Ballard.
Bob, how are you doing? Good to see you again. It's amazing what you've done. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Ballard.
All right, super.
And so what I'm going to do now is establish a call here between us and the Deep Space Center, and maybe you can explain just a little bit about how we use the technology, Dr. Ballard.
Well, we have the problem of ships of exploration not knowing what they're going to find. So we have them out roaming the seas 24 hours a day, and we need to deliver an expert anytime, anywhere within 20 minutes. So here's our Inner Space Center. That's the director, Dwight Coleman. Hi, Dwight.
Hey, Dwight.
Good morning.
He's back in New England, and we have 2 ships of exploration, one in the Pacific and one in the Mediterranean. Dwight, a few moments about what your operation is doing there.
Okay, sure. So here at the Inner Space Center, I'm sitting in Mission Control. So this is the hub of the telepresence operations for these 2 ships. We basically wire these 2 ships to Internet 2 and use all sorts of Cisco equipment to do that, to bring streams, live streams of data and video and audio into the Inner Space Center, where it can then be distributed on the Internet to wide audiences, so that we can staff this center with students and teachers and scientists who help us make decisions about exploration in real time.
And what's really exciting about it is it's riveting to come in on something for the first time. We are delivering this then with Cisco technology directly in the classroom. We have over 250,000 children who are studying the curriculum, preparing themselves for the expedition, and in some cases we've installed it in their libraries. We're reinventing libraries at schools.
But Bob, there's no reason we couldn't do this to every classroom in the world.
Absolutely.
If you suddenly begin to go with 3G and 4G, video really gets students seeing how they learn in a fashion they're used to doing. We could change education in a dramatic way like it's never been done before.
Energizing it, getting kids excited, and then turning them to the text so that they learn a little more. And what's wonderful about the ocean exploration, it's 24 hours a day. We can reach anyone, anytime, any place.
I love it. It's really the future work, isn't it, Jim?
It is. And John, you know, I brought with us just to show what's happening in the background. We have a slide showing the network diagram with all of the different components here that are tied together to allow this to happen, from what's happening in the university to the graduate school to the research vessel and the satellite links, and what we did here when contacting the parents, the students' home, the Board of Education, how we tie this all together.
It's an architecture, isn't it, Jim?
It is an architectural play, John.
And it's really cool.
Bob, thank you very, very much. Look forward to your presentation
You bet.
tomorrow, too.
Thank you.
Jim, awesome.
Thank you, John.